I, Mr. Harivangarwar, Assistant Professor in Economics, BYK Sinnar College of Commerce, Nashik from Maharashtra. Today, coming with the topic International Economics, meaning, nature, scope and importance. International economics is the important branch of economics. It has emerged as one of the most essential concepts for world. Over the years, the field of international economics has developed drastically with various theoretical, empirical, and descriptive contributions. International economics is growing in importance as a field of study because of the rapid integration of international economic markets. More and more businesses, consumers, and governments realize that their lives are increasingly affected not just by what goes on in their own town, state, or country, but by what is happening around the world. In the 21st century, nations are more closely linked through trade in goods and services, through flows of money, through investment in each other's economies than ever before. Till now, economists were able to apply existing analysis to some of these challenges, but they were also forced to rethink some important concepts and approaches. International economics deals with the economic activities of various countries and their consequences. International economics is a field concerned with economic interactions of countries and effects of international issues on the world economic activity. It studies economic and political issues related to international trade and finance. I have taken one definition of international economics here. International economics refers to a study of international forces that influence the domestic conditions of an economy and shape the economic relationship between the countries. In short, international economics studies the economic interdependence between countries and its effects on the economy. Next point is nature of international economics, in which first part is immovability of factors of production. Factors of production are mobile within a country. Labor and capital moves freely to get maximum returns in the country. These factors of production do not move with such freedom among different countries due to new cultures, customs, language, climate, and political restrictions made obligatory by the states. This mobility gives rise to wage and interest rate disparity among countries. Next point, differences in geographical, climatic, and natural resource endowments. Each country has its unique climate, which is responsible for agricultural products of that country. Example, raw jute is produced more in Bangladesh. Natural resource endowments allow Gulf countries to produce oil. Australia, with a vast expanse of land, produces wheat, meat, and wool. This climate and natural resource endowments has a positive impact on international trade as well as international economics. Different currency systems. While a trader can transact in rupees while trading in India, he has to transact in dollars, pounds, euros or yen while trading with USA, Britain, Europe and Japan respectively. This introduces additional cost and risk in international trade as the value of currencies is the subject to variations. Some currencies are easily convertible into others but not at all. Next point is high transport cost. Because of the long distances involved, transport costs for international transaction are higher than for domestic traders. Therefore, transport costs is also study area of international economics. Next point is different political systems. In domestic trade, parties carry transaction within due regard to national interests. Such loyalty is absent in international trade as each party aims at maximum gain for its sake. Next point is different trade policies. In terms of commerce, taxation, export and import tariffs, there is a single policy governing transaction under domestic trade. This is not the case with international trade. Parties have to study and adopt policies of both the countries involved in the trade. Next point is problem of balance of payments. Some countries, especially developing ones, want to import substantial capital goods from overseas to build the infrastructure for growth of their economy. The countries which supply the goods are not always in a capacity to buy equal amount of goods and services from these developing nations, nor are the developing countries in a position to match their exports and imports. This creates a difficult in the balance of payment of developing country. Measures to have been taken by the government to correct the situation, as a country cannot survive with a perennial deficit in balance of payments. These measures are peculiar only to the international trade. These are the some points related to nature of international economics. Next point is scope of international economics. International economics is divided into two parts to clear understanding of scope of international economics. One is theoretical and second is descriptive. First is theoretical international economics, in which pure theory of international economics is important part. Pure theory involves microeconomic part of international economics and covers the many areas of study. The causes of trade and the trade pattern, impact of trade on economic activities like production, consumption and distribution of income, gains from trade and distribution of the gains, impact of trade and non-trade barriers of trade, and product prices and income distribution. Effects of trade on economic growth. These are the some areas relates to pure theory of international economics. Therefore, the pure theory of international economics deals with trade patterns, impact of trade on production, rate of consumption and income distribution. Apart from this, it also involves the study of effects of trade on prices of goods and services and rate of economic growth. Next point of theoretical international economics is monetary theory of international economics. Monetary theory of international economics involves macroeconomic part of international economics and covers many areas such as matters related to balance of payments and international monetary system, areas like causes and methods of correcting balance of payments, disequilibria, determination of exchange rate, international liquidity, relationship between balance of payments position and other macroeconomic variables. Another point is descriptive international economics. Descriptive international economics deals with institutional environment in which international transaction takes place between countries. Descriptive international economics also studies issues related to international flow of goods and services and financial and other resources. In addition, it covers the study of various international economic institutions such as IMF, World Trade Organization, World Bank and UNCTAD. Besides these concepts, globalization, gains from trade, pattern of trade, balance of payments, FDI, globalization, these are the important areas of scope of international economics. Next point of our syllabus is importance of international economics. The study of international economics has many uses, in which first is it broadens the mental outlook of the people by enabling them to think and act beyond the narrow boundaries of nationalism. Second is it makes them realize the hard truth that national prosperity can be sustained for long in a world surrounded by poor nations. In other words, it brings out the fact of complementarity between national economies. The study of international economics makes us realize that an important role has been played by foreign capital and labor in the past in the development of national economies. Developed nations of the world today would not have been so if there was no movement of productive factors like labor and capital across national boundaries. It is very clear and obvious that no nation is self-sufficient with regard to factor endowment. Hence, if the nation have to exist and prosper, they have to act in a spirit of mutual give and take. A judicial study of international economies stresses the inevitability of mutual interdependence between nations in the process of growth. The study of international economies causes development of international outlook among men of vision, statesmen and economists. International economics points out the fact that pooling of resources is urgently needed to tackle the problem of mass poverty found almost in the universe. Similarly, international economics warns us to nations cannot for long afford to adopt and practice complicity national economic policies. A study tells that many problems which cannot be solved single-handed can be resolved without much difficulty through international economic cooperation. The basic principle is that economic cooperation and increasing national well-being go together. The study of international economies enables us to know about the mechanism of operation of different monetary systems. Similarly, the study of international economics tells us that free trade, which safeguards the economic interest of every country, is the best guarantee against the outbreak of global war. Therefore, we can conclude that international economics is the recent and modern branch of economics which studies international relations between different countries in terms of economic relations, political relations, and also cultural relations. Therefore, we must know about detail what is meant by international economics, what are the theories of international economics, what is international trade, what components are related to international trade, etc. and etc. Thank you. Thank you very much.